We're going to take a walk today and we're going to show you a little bit how to snare rabbits today. We're in February. We're in a time we're actually unable to harvest rabbits, so we're just going to demonstrate today. So our land tells us at this time that all the waabooz nation are currently they're reproducing. So it's at this time we actually wouldn't harvest these animals. We would stop. Usually we would harvest them when the snow first goes on the ground, right into about late January. Also, right now we're in Makwagi's, the bear moon. And the bear moon is, right now they're having babies. We want to be very careful about how we're walking in the bush right now because it's a very spiritual time that's going on right now in the bush. There's a few things that need to happen before we go out. The first thing is we always need our samo. So our samo is what guides us. Before we walk in the bush, we give thanks for life. Miigwech kanagego is what we say. We would leave the snare overnight and then we'd go back and we'd check it early in the morning. We have to go early in the morning because we're not the only ones that want to eat. We develop a very special relationship with the bush and all the other beings that are there as well too. Before we take this, we ask this tree to give up its life to help us find life. So we put our tobacco down for this. Then we clean it off like that. And then we go to Canadian Tire. Okay. All the Anishinaabe people, it's a very sacred place for us. Is we use our we go and buy some snare wire, and then we have also from Canadian Tire. I feel like an advertisement now, but we would use the little pliers and we would rig up our snare wire. So we would make it a nice long snare wire, and then what we would do is we would tie it up to this tree. So we would actually have we might have anywhere from maybe 5 to 30 of these. Depends how serious you are trying to get your food. And then we would tie that snare wire to the tree. So once we'd go in, we would actually have maybe a big bundle of these that we would actually try and just leave in the bush, or at least leave along the way. Because when we snare, one of the things that we always have to remember is the respect for the animal. So we want to make sure that when we go out, that animal is not suffering. We make the snare wire about the size of our hand. That's about the rabbit's head and neck, so they go in there. We make this stick nice and long so that if they get stuck in this, when they go running in the bush, the stick is actually going to get caught up in the bush so that they don't go very far. They're not going to suffer. As soon as they pull on this, it's not going to be long. So what I would do is I'd walk a little bit on the side. You want this stick nice and long, so you can just kind of go in like this. 2 sticks like this. I want him to jump up through that and underneath, so stick his head out. Once we harvest the rabbit, we put down our samo gopkidna. I put down my samo and I say, Miigwech waabooz madsawid. Thank you, waabooz, for your life, so that I could have life. In our community, what we've been taught is that once we get the rabbit, is we'd find an elder in our community and we'd go give it to them. We may only keep 1 rabbit. If we get 10 rabbits in a year, we might only keep 1 or 2 for ourselves, and all the other ones would go out for the elders. Not just rabbits, we're always giving back to our elders because they need that food, because that food is medicine. So when we give that food to them, they're able to have lots of good nutrition.